Welcome back into our LA studio. So these are a few of my favorite things. Well, at least some things that stood out to me from last night's game. So number one, I want to talk about Steph Curry, but not for the reason that you might think. Everyone wants to talk about his offense through the first two games, and rightfully so. But his defense, that's what stood out to me. Shout out researcher Schwartz for this, because Steph leads all players in scoring this series. But when he is the primary defender this series, the Celtics are 5 for 18. So let's get more specific with these numbers. 2 of 8 for Marcus Smart. Jaylen Brown, 1 of 4. Tatum, 1 of 3. And Derek White, 1 of 3. That is the second lowest field goal percentage allowed. And watching the game, it kind of reminded me of one of my favorite press conference moments from this season. So let's take a look and a listen to Steph on May 16th.
Being the two-way player that you are, you know, on both ends, but when you when you looking at film, when you're looking at film,
hey Raymond, you got to put
good job. Thanks for you worded that. That's not exactly what I emailed you, but close.
Yes, keep going.
He hit him with the yes, I am. Keep going. All right. Who better to talk about defense than 3-time all-defensive team member Pat Bev? So, Pat.
I should have been 4. They cheated me this year.
All right. It should have been 4. Voters, take note. Now that we've got that out of the way.
Okay, my bad.
No, you're good. Yeah. How have you seen him become a better defender, or have you over the years?
Two-way player. No. A cone. He's not a cone, though.
Okay.
He's for sure not a cone.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know if it's him who challenged himself. I don't know if it's his the coaching staff, Steve Kerr, or his teammates, Draymond, but it was a light switch where he just, you know, defense is all about will anyway, and he just flipped the switch. He's been giving it. He's been real handsy. He's been sliding them left and right, and I'm impressed. But this has been going on for the last 4 or 5 years. He's improved defensively the last 4 or 5 years. So give him credit. Give his training staff credit. Give him credit. Whatever it is, because it's helping.
Oh, and that's from a 3-time defensive, all-team defensive player. Should have been 4. We'll go with 4 for you. All right. The second thing, Pat, that jumped out to me. Please never ma'am me again.
Oh, my bad.
Kevon Looney.
Thank you.
His impact was felt from the beginning of the game. I legit jumped off of my couch when I saw that he'd recorded 3 steals in the first quarter. He had 5 steals the entire postseason leading up to that. That was his first multi-steal game ever. Not to mention the Celtics. They were 0-6 when he was the primary defender last night. His plus-minus, it's not really my favorite metric, but it was tied with Steph and Otto Porter Jr. for the best of any player in the game. So how much of a difference maker to you was Looney? Because to me, he was up there.
Yeah, I think he's one of the main catalysts. I mean, I think when you speak about consistency from players, this entire playoffs, Looney is definitely top 3 for sure. If you talk about the best centers this round, you talk about the best centers last round. He's been winning his matchup. I mean, last round he guarded Luka. I think he ended the game with like 22 rebounds, something crazy like that. Last night he went 6 for 6. He didn't miss a shot. I mean, he's been playing his butt off, and he's been doing it for years. You know, since he's been with the team. So credit to Looney. Credit to Gary Payton. Broke his arm, came back. I don't know anyone who works in America who breaks their arm and come back to work, willing to work 4 weeks later. So credit to him. Credit to Wig. I honestly thought if it wasn't for Steph, Wig definitely should have got the MVP of last round. He played both ends of the field for them. So, those three, the others, I like how they've been playing, and they're a big key to success.
It sounds like we need a list of Pat Bev's things, but since these are my things, I'm going to stick with Looney. And I heard he agreed with me. All right, my third thing, Pat. Let's take a look at the Celtics starting 5 last night. 6 points combined from Robert Williams, Al Horford, and Marcus Smart. I applaud Robert Williams for being out on the floor. He looked a little hobbled. I know this knee discomfort is something he's going to be fighting through the entire postseason, but it's not just him. The moral of the story for my third thing is help wanted for Boston. It can't just be the Jays and a side of Derek White. Vince, I need some help here. If the Celtics are to win this series, who can be a reliable third option?
I think Derek White has been playing very good basketball, and I think he can help the Celtics and as well as Al Horford. I mean, you can get something from him. I mean, after having a big night, I knew the response defensively for the Golden State Warriors was to cut his water off. And, you know, Draymond said one thing that kind of, you know, if you look at that stat sheet, he talked about the three-point shooters and the names that he named, okay? Remember the names that he named, and then look at the list again of people that you talked about, Marcus Smart, Al Horford. So you best believe they were on the radar with cutting their water off. Yeah, Tatum's going to get his. Yeah, Jaylen Brown's going to get his. But you can't allow those two guys to have a great night or okay night, and then the other guys, those three guys, to have big nights, and they shut that down, and that gave them a chance to win the game.
Well, if memory serves, 11 for 15, Derek White and Al Horford in game one, and so from three. And so it's one of those things where, yeah, you didn't necessarily expect that to continue. Derek White has been excellent. He has those dad superpowers. He's been playing incredibly well since the birth of his child earlier in these playoffs. But, you know, when Jaylen Brown is taking 17 shots, 17 points is good. It's fine. But you're going to need a little bit more from him. Jason Tatum has just been exceptional, a little more from Derek White. And then if you can get one or the other going, Al Horford or Marcus Smart, to me, that could spell a little bit of trouble for Golden State.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.